Hello and welcome back to the channel. Today I'm going to be looking at Lara Fabian, Je suis malade. A lot of you have been asking for this, so now that the weather is turning, it's a little bit more gloomy outside, I think it's time for us to go down this road. So without any further ado, let's get started. So I'm going to stop right away. I know a lot of you have been asking for this, and the thing that's really striking about Laura Fabian, Malade, I asked my friends who speak French what that means. It says I am sick. So let's take a look at how she presents herself. She is a master at setting herself into a scene, and this is what other performers, I'll be honest, need to learn a little bit how to do that a little bit better. Because some people will sing at you. Laura Fabian sings to you, and she brings you into the scene that she is wanting you to be a part of, and all the emotion that's built within her body, the way that she uses her body, the way that she sets herself, and the way that she uses the introduction to bring you into that conversation is very evident in this particular introduction. And so I'll back up just a little bit to about here, and we'll watch her, and it's in shadow, so I was watching her in the shadow where the video overlaid on itself, but that's something that she is a master of. No one can take that away from her. She does find a way to center herself into the meaning of the song.
Je ne rêve plus, je ne fume plus, je n'ai même plus d'histoire. Je suis laide sans toi, je suis sale sans toi, comme une orpheline dans un dortoir. Je n'ai plus envie de vivre ma vie. Ma vie c'est ce quand tu pars.
So I'm going to stop again. One of the things here that I notice, and this is something that, again, for a lot of people who haven't been around a lot of performers, she uses her really soft voice very effectively. And in Caruso, I don't believe I mentioned this, but as I went back and I watched the performance over and over again, one of the things I noticed about it is her ability to have the same power at a lower volume, and she's still able to carry the message. You could still feel the same intensity of the note even at a lower volume, and she's doing the same thing here, and she's using her diction, the way that she's pronouncing her words, to reinforce the desperation within this scene, and really making sure that those words come out. Because when you sing really softly, if you don't use your diction, and this is something that I remember from 20 years ago, if you don't use your diction to help propel the words out, it's just going to come out like this. And you don't want that. So nobody wants mumbling. So we'll continue.
Je n'ai plus de vie, et même mon lit se transforme en quai de gare. Quand tu t'en vas, je suis malade, complètement malade, comme quand ma mère sortait le soir et qu'elle me laissait seule avec mon désespoir. Je suis malade, parfaitement malade. T'arrives, on ne sait jamais quand. Tu pars, on ne sait jamais où. Et ça va faire bientôt 2 ans que tu t'en fous comme un rocher. péché. Je suis accrochée à toi, je suis fatiguée, je suis épuisée de faire semblant d'être heureuse. Quand ils sont là, je bois toutes les nuits et tous les whisky, pour moi, ont le même goût.
Here, notice how she's using her body and her face and the space that she's walking through and walking backwards and embodying all of that insecurity, all of that introspection, all of that self-loathing and sort of I'll call it in a like a inertia in like a personality inertia where she's this character is is stuck and is in a moment of extreme despair and has been for a really long time and doesn't know how to move, doesn't know how to move past their sickness. And she does it really, really well. She knows how to use her body and there's a difference between doing this to point backwards and doing this to point backwards, and she does the full view because again, the people in the back have to see her do that. She's really good at understanding where she is on a stage as well.
Et tous les bateaux portent ton drapeau. Je ne sais plus où aller. Tu es partout. Je suis malade, complètement malade. Je verse mon sang dans ton corps et je suis comme un oiseau mort. Quand tout est du dos, je suis malade, parfaitement malade. Tu m'as privé de tous mes chants, tu m'as vidé de tous mes mots. Pourtant, je crois que j'avais du talent. Avant ta peau, cet amour m'a tué. Si ça continue, je creverai seule avec moi, près de ma radio, comme un gosse idiot, en écoutant ma propre voix qui chantera. Je suis malade, complètement malade, comme quand ma mère sortait le soir et qu'elle me laissait seule avec mon désespoir. Je suis
Wow. That section there, the interesting part about it, and I'll probably do a reaction to Karen Carpenter's Now, a song that I've watched a couple of times on YouTube. This past section here was completely done. That last little section was done a cappella, all by herself, all by herself. And most of what this song is about is that emptiness, that despair, this void that her character is filling or trying to fill or trying to find a space within, and there is no accompaniment there. That was it. It was a very good reinforcement, and maybe I'm over analyzing this, but I look for those sorts of things. Um, Again, you know that's just something that I listen for is when someone has to sing by themselves. Just like for those of you who know Les Miserables, the musical, when Eponine and Marius sing "A Little Fall of Rain" after she gets wounded, and they both sing, "And rain will make the flowers," and only Marius finishes the song because Eponine dies. Sorry, everybody dies in Les Mis, so there. Um, the idea is here the same thing is that she's no longer being supported. Her character is no longer really in that moment being supported by the music, and that reinforces all the emptiness and the despair within that little moment in the song. And I'll go back a little bit so that we can catch that, but it's the same thing.
avec moi, près de ma radio, comme un gosse idiot en écoutant ma propre voix qui chantera. Je suis malade, complètement malade, comme quand ma mère sortait le soir et qu'elle me laissait seule avec mon désespoir. Je suis malade, c'est ça. Je suis malade, tu m'as privé de tous mes chants, tu m'as vidé de tous mes mots et j'ai le cœur complètement malade, cerné de barricades. T'entends, je suis malade.
So at the end here, and I'm a little emotional about this. It's very interesting to see how much time it took her to recenter herself after embodying this particular song. Now, I'm glad that she has the self confidence to do that. Not a lot of people do. Um, I mean, they this is a song that you have to put in your entire heart and soul. And again, that last note is just unbelievably long. So part of it is also she has to get her physicality back, even though she can hold notes for like 3 hours at a time. But having said that, um, it's a really great moment for her because this is something that she does is that she will take the moment within the song to sacrifice her own self a little bit for the character. Like she will divorce herself from the character because if you've watched Lara Fabian, she is not she's not she has confidence. She is never not confident. I have yet to see her feel shaky or walk shaky or not walk as if she had purpose or not sing as if she had purpose and not know what's going on. She is in my mind she's an alpha female in that way. She knows what she's good at. She executes and she owns it and she's confident in herself and doesn't need anybody's validation for it. Just is. So in that sense as a performer, she is really good at being able to separate herself out from the performance itself and that I think is awesome. It's not something that I could do. I have zero empathy. I have a very difficult time when I would sing to be able to become that person. I'm not able to separate myself out enough to become something else in that moment, and she is really good at that. With that, I'm gonna let you guys take over the comments section if you haven't already done so. Please leave timestamps, do all that stuff. Make this your space because again, I did my job. I opened up the conversation. Now it's your job to finish it and to continue it and to keep it going. Again, I'm going to mention it. Like, comment, subscribe. At the time that I'm making this video, we're at 1900 and like 50-ish subscribers. I would like it to be 2,000. I would love it to be 500,000, but that's a long-term goal. But for the moment, just like, comment, subscribe, share, and have a conversation. Enjoy this space because it is your space. And I do appreciate you stopping by. And as always, be safe.